What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. Welcome to our webinar entitled How to Start and Grow Your Personal Project This Summer. Before we get started, we want to thank you for being here. You could be anywhere at this point right now. You could be watching Netflix, you could be watching Disney Plus, you could be scrolling TikTok, or even scrolling through Instagram there. You could be taking a nap right now. And I know a lot of parents are here. I was chatting with a few right before we went live. Parents, you guys are living an incredible life, right? You definitely deserve that nap as well, too. We know that the most valuable currency is not money, right? But time. Because yes, you can buy things with money that makes you happy, right? I can buy stuff that makes me happy. However, money cannot buy time to spend an extra day with a loved one. Money cannot buy you time to experience your kids again at 5 years old, at 50, at 5, at 10. We have some families, 2025, who are watching this call. Your kids are about to enter app season, then going to college. They won't be 15 ever again, right? That's why we understand that time is the most valuable currency of them all. So for you to choose to hang out with us over the next 90 minutes on this call, we just want to thank you and let you know that our goal is to help you save time by the end of this training. We're going to save you guys time from making mistakes so you can follow the most direct and straightforward route to success. So we can maximize your child's chances of getting into their top universities and colleges. If it's our very first time meeting, what's up? My name is Coach Tony. I'm one of your college admissions expert here, and you'll be one of the hosts of this training session we're going to have today. For those who don't know, I grew up, if you guys know where Disneyland is, that's kind of where I'm from. Grew up there, family of immigrants. They told me to go to college nearby, so I got into UC Irvine. They gave me a full ride. I got into UCLA. They gave me a full ride. My parents are super, super pumped. I turned both of those down to go to UC Berkeley, mainly because I want to get away from my parents. So that was the main reason why I went there. Did not get a full ride. I just paid off my student loans recently as well, too. So that's done. But during my time there, I loved it. I loved my time at Berkeley. As a student, I got to work with admissions, help them out with recruitment, events, and outreach. So when I graduated, they actually invited me to be a reader with them. What that meant is when you guys are sending off your college apps to these schools, right? It's not the admission officers who reads it right away. It's the reading team at all the college. You're applying to UC schools, Ivy schools, private schools, out-of-state schools. Everyone has a team of readers that helps read and evaluate applications. I did that for a few years, read over 20,000 applications during my time there. And by doing so, you learn some trends, right? Some kids got a yes, a lot more kids got a no. There's things that the yes kids kind of had in common, a lot of things the no students kind of have in common. The purpose of this group, purpose of the call today, steer you all in the right direction so each of you can experience that same level of joy, success for your child to get into whatever top choice schools they want to get into, right? But I'm not doing this training alone. I have my amazing partner, right? He is one of the greatest minds when it comes to the UC admissions, college admissions as a whole, and he's gone through this firsthand. I'll let him tell you a little bit more. Welcome, Coach Art.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Tony. Oh gosh, I feel so honored and blessed. Like Coach Tony said, thank you so much for spending this time with us. You could be doing something else, but you're doing this with us. So we really appreciate that. I'm Coach Art with College Admission Secrets. Been with College Admission Secrets for about 3 years and been in the college admission space for about 7 years. And the reason why I even got involved is probably similar to all you parents that are out there. I started with my oldest son trying to figure out and navigate through the college admissions process. Had no idea what it was. I thought it's not like when I was back in the day, you just kind of fill out an application and there you go, and then you get accepted. It's much different these days. And so my biggest claim to fame is my three boys. I'm a parent of three amazing individuals graduated from UC Berkeley with a mechanical engineering degree. My middle son is going to be going to Chicago to be pre-med bio, and then my youngest is going to be graduating literally this Thursday, and be going to Biola University to play college soccer and also physical therapy. And so I've been in this space for a long time as a coach, over 20 years doing coaching sports as well as coaching life, and particularly now college admissions. And I'm just so excited because we have the opportunity to change lives and have the opportunity to change your guys' lives as well, if you allow us to. So with that said, Coach Tony, back to you. Is that true? Yep, there you go. All right. So together, with our team, this is amazing. We've been able to basically take a look at all of the people that we've changed lives with. Okay. And you can see all of the amazing schools that our students have been able to get into, okay, that we've helped them. You can see all of that on the slides there. Loyola Marymount, the UCs, definitely the UCIs as well. We are so proud with those students that are going to USC. So, a student that has made it into the BSMD program, which is amazing and so incredibly difficult to make it into. Of course, everybody knows UCLA, which is nearly impossible to get into a lot of times, but they have it. We have such a great track record with the UCs, USD, of course, Davis, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, all of the UCs, which is incredible. But we're not just UC centric, okay? You can see here, I'm so proud to help my niece get into Caltech, which is an incredible school, and even international. You can see there, Carleton University in Ottawa, Canada. So incredible schools, and I can keep going on and on. If you take a look at all of the incredible schools, like, of course, Berkeley, which we have a number of Berkeley grads, go Bears, ASU as well. You can see here at Chapman University, Texas Tech. We're all over the country, okay? And the reason why we're so successful is because we do things differently. But because we do things differently, we have such amazing success with all of the schools in the top 20, 40, 100, as well as all of the universities around the country, okay? And you can see here, so just keep going. It keeps going and going with respect to all of the schools. You can see there, University of Michigan as well. So I'm going to turn over to my partner in crime here, Tony, to kick us off here.
Awesome. And you guys would know that, Jay. We're going to pass it back and forth. You guys love these sessions. For those who've been here before, we love it when we tag team these calls. It's actually really fun for us because we don't get to do that often. We don't get to hang out together on these calls. So nice to get to virtually hang out with you all. We have over 200 families live, and people are still flowing in right now, which is incredible. So before we get started, I'm going to ask for a quick favor from every single person, right? Can I have you guys in the chat type the 1? If you're here in the Zoom live, type the number 1. If you're scared, you can always put it on host mode so we can see the 1 at the very least. But type the number 1 in the chat, right? It's also low-key my tech support, making sure the tech works of the chat room as well. But yeah, you can see dozens and dozens of kind of 1s flowing in here. And as you're noticing that, as you're looking at those number 1s, every single one you see in the chat is a parent of a high school student. It might be the students themselves. We invite our own coaching students to jump on this call as well too, right? Every single one that you see in the chat represents an ambitious student. It represents a future leader. It represents a change maker, someone who's going to make a difference in this world. The reason why we are doing this training is because of you, right? We always have this really cool quote: you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Again, by the end of this call, our goal is to teach you, give you the tools so your child becomes that ripple, that initial drop that creates an impact, not only for them, your family, their friends, but the greater community. You'll see why this is a very symbolic picture of the training we're going to teach you all here today. So over this next 90 minutes, do we have permission, right, to number one, teach you everything we know about starting and growing a personal project? Then number two, we're going to share a special offer to help your child with their personal projects. Then number three, for those who are interested, we would love to extend an invitation for families to work with Coach Art, myself, and our amazing coaching team inside of our coaching program. And number four, right, everyone's favorite, Q&A. We'll stay again for Q&A every time we do these calls. We stay on forever, right? As well too. So we'll answer questions at the very end. Does that sound like a plan? Go ahead and drop a yes in the chat. If that sounds like a good plan for today, go ahead and drop a yes in the chat. If you guys that 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds decent. Again, we're gonna go 90 minutes with you all here this evening. So it'll be awesome, fantastic. People like it. Sounds good. Capitalizations, big exclamation marks. I love it. I love it. Right. So before I kind of pass it back to Coach Archie, kind of teach you guys all this stuff, I want to kind of bring us back a little bit, bring us back how we actually got to this point here together. We're up to 300 people live as well. So how do we all get to the same virtual Zoom room together, right? So first off, we're going to rewind back to what we call the year that must not be named, the year that all of us are scared. You guys know 4 years ago, right? We watched this live 4 years ago, right? Businesses were shut down. As a result, schools were shut down. As a result, everything went virtual, right? This is where our families began to change the game, right? If you think back, again, it's hard time to think back to, but if you think about back then, students were pretty complacent, right? They were doing what they were told. Hey, can't do this, can't do that, right? A lot of no's. You heard a lot more no's than you heard yeses, right? But if you think about it, right? Think of the top elite schools like the Harvards, the Yales, the Stanfords, the UCs, right? All these top schools. Are they looking for people who will settle? People who are just average, people just do what the normal everyone does, right? People always ask Coach Tony, what does an average student look like at Harvard? What's an average student looks like at UCLA? And the answer is they don't, because average students don't go to those schools, right? To get into those schools, you cannot just be ordinary, cannot just be regular. So with our coaching families back then, we had one goal. How do we take advantage of this opportunity? What can we do, right? Stop thinking of no or buts and all these kind of ors, right? No, what can we do? What is possible? What is out there? What's still open? What can we make it happen as well? So and then we'll answer that question in a little bit. Something else real fast. Let's debunk a college admissions myth, because I know Coach R and I, we hear this every single day talking to new families. Everyone tells me, Coach Tony, my child needs an internship. Or Coach Tony, my child needs research. Or Coach Tony, we need a passion project. We need this thing as well too, right? And every time I get asked this question, I always throw back one simple word. I ask, why, right? Why do you need a summer program? Why do you need an internship opportunity? Why do you need research? And most parents, most families, they kind of say something like this. Oh, I saw this person, Coach Tony, they had this research and they got into this school as well too. And then to that, I always say, right? How many people with that also got rejected? Right? How many people, to your knowledge, that got those research programs and still didn't get in? People with those internships and still didn't get in. Those fancy, they spent thousands on those summer programs and still did not get into their top choice schools, right? People think that there is a perfect magical activity that as long as you have it, you're good to go, right? Hey, if I just get this research, my child's going to get into Harvard. If I can get this internship, my child is locked in for UCLA, right? No. And if there was, I will tell you, I'll make our lives way easier. All right, everyone, do this. You guys are good to go, right? Here's the bill. right? No, there's nothing like that exists. So here is the thing. I answer that. No such thing. So when it comes to admission, this is the key. If you're taking notes on anything the entire time, this is the one screen you want to screenshot. This is the one biggest takeaway from this entire presentation. When it comes to admissions, it is not the what that you do. It is always the why you do that's important. And again, over the next 80 minutes left, we're going to break this down so you know exactly what this means, right? The what is there, but what admission readers care the most about. The reason why students get accepted, again, it's the thing I call the shotgun effect. People just do a lot of things, crossing their fingers. I hope it's right. We do things strategically because we know this is what readers are looking for, and readers are looking for the why, not the what's. Right. And so before I pass on to Coach Art to kind of break this down to you guys, so you guys can go ahead and start taking notes. If you haven't pulled out your notebook yet, now's a good time to go try to find your notebooks out as well. But before we guys prepare for that, I want to share a quick little story. One of our students this year, right? You can kind of see this timestamp as well too. This student gone to Rice, one of the top elite colleges in the US. They also gone to early decision, right? So they applied early, found out early, goes going there this fall as well too. We worked with her on this kind of topic we're going to talk about today, which is the personal project. We asked her, hey, right? We asked her, what field are you interested in? Hey, like let's say we talk with all of our coaching students, like, what do you like? What are you interested in doing? Right? And so this student, right, told us, hey, I like watching Shark Tank, right? That's why I want to go down business as well too. So we kept asking the student, like, okay, let's keep poking and probing and figuring out, right? Let's figure out more and more and more and more, right? The more we talk to them, again, I don't want to tease, I want to reveal too much about personal projects yet, but we kept figuring this out, and we help the student create their personal project, right? It's not what everyone does, right? It's very unique. And I challenge anyone, once I tell you what the student's project is, I challenge you to think, have I seen that ever before? This student of ours, she created a business summer camp program in the style of Shark Tank for middle school students. They would come, they will learn business concepts, and on their final project, they invited business owners to do almost a Shark Tank pitch from that. In the chat, have you heard of anyone that has done that ever? Right? Yes. Why? If you heard that before, right? No. It's like, whoa, that's different, right? No, I have never seen that before, right? Look at that. Lot knows. When parents tell me I want my child to stand out, and they tell me I want to do research, I want to do internship, you are literally doing what other kids are doing. You're literally doing the same exact things. When you want to stand out, you literally do something different to stand out. That is what we're going to teach you all today with the personal project. Something that is so powerful if you do it correctly, that your child will be, okay, how do I stand out? This is how you stand out. This is what makes your child different than everyone else applying. This is what differentiates your student, your child from everyone else that's applying with them. And with that being said, I want to ask permission. You guys see, we're very curious people. I mean, because we ask permission all the time, right? Permission real fast. Is it okay if we teach you guys our exact framework on how you can help your child start and grow their personal project this summer? If you're new, by the way, be ready. We're not those people that tease you and say, you got to do A, B, and C. You got to pay us for the rest. No, we're literally giving you the exact things that we teach our own coaching students. By the time you leave today, you should have the tools, the knowledge to help your child do it right after this call. If that's okay, drop a yes in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat. We're up to 330 people. If you guys drop a yes in the chat, if you guys are ready, if not, we can go home. If we're not ready, we can go home, call it a day, take a nap as well too. All right, look at that. Yeses are flowing through. We are getting excited. People are pumped. Coach Art, I think they're ready for you, sir.
All right, let's do it. Okay, well, man, I don't know if I can live up to the hype that Coach Tony just introduced me. So this is amazing. Introducing personal projects. I have to tell you, this is probably one of the most rewarding pieces of our job, is to help our students create, develop their personal projects. And I've seen it in the last couple of years where a lot of the students that have created personal projects, the schools that they've been accepted to, I really believe has had an influence on them making it in. And the primary reason why is because what happens here is a personal project is, and there's keywords in here, student initiated, student run, and student directed. Okay. I want to really highlight those three: initiated, run, and directed. And the reason why is because it's all about them. It is literally a personal project, all about them, what they're interested in, what they love, what wakes them up in the morning. Okay. And this allows them to explore an area of personal interest. And not only that, develop their new skills, leadership skills. Okay. And it also helps them achieve specific goals. And lastly, if possible, impact their community. If you could tell me that an internship, or let's say a summer research program, and I'm not going to knock any of those because absolutely there's a number of them that are incredible and amazing. And if your students are able to find those, kudos to them, because that's a leg up. But there isn't anything out there as of right now that at least I know of in which you could start literally today, okay, run it yourself and have so much impact, not only on the community, but yourself. And it's all about you, okay? And that you can go ahead and now describe that in your application. So let's go ahead and get started here. What are some of the characteristics, okay, of a personal project? Here we go. First of all, it's student driven, as I mentioned. It's interest based on their interests. It has goals. It develops skills. It involves creativity and innovation. It also involves documenting all of the things that they're doing and reflecting on it. And it has a opportunity for presentation and sharing of that information or sharing of that project. If you take a look at this and a reader is looking at all of these on a personal project, do you think, and I want everyone to tell me yes or no, do you think that a reader could evaluate a student of who they really are if they see all of these things in a personal project? Yes or no? Just give me a little bit. Yes or no? Let me see if we get some. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Oh, I love the yeses. Okay, great. Because this allows them to evaluate what kind of student are they going to be when they get to the college. What kind of alumni are they going to be? Because it requires tenacity and perseverance and strength and courage and creativity, as all of these mentioned here. Okay. So now, how do we start your personal project? I'm going to give you the secret sauce. Let's get going here. First of all, what's your why? Do you remember how Coach Tony said, out of everything in all of these presentations, if there's the one thing that you get out of this, it's not what they do, but it's why they do it. And that's the very important thing right from the very start. What is your students' why? So with that said here, what if your why, okay, what if your why, the purpose, what is a why? The purpose, the cause or belief that inspires you, okay? And why is that important? Because the why, okay, you can infuse it in your work. It gives you meaning. It makes work deeply fulfilling, okay? It grounds your work with personal significance. And this drives tenacity, creativity, and deep sense of commitment. When you're at the level of doing something that you, of your why, then what happens, that shows through in everything that you do with your personal project and everything that you explain within the college application itself. The readers are going to be able to feel that through the page because you are describing something of things that are deeply fulfilling, personal significance, full of tenacity, creativity, and sense of commitment. So how do we discover your why? First of all, Students, they must reflect on their values, explore their passions and strengths, identify issues that matter to you. Okay, and I'm speaking to the students here. I'm actually speaking to the parents as well. You all could start a personal project if you'd want. You could start a personal project with your sons and daughters as well. Now, look for personal connections through past experiences, as well as visualize the impact. So everything that you have experienced up to this point, things that people that you've seen, places that you've gone to, as well as subjects that you're interested in, subjects that you may not even know about and not have any information, but it drives you. It makes you wake up in the morning and say, wow, I really want to learn about this subject. That is what you want to discover, and that is what you want to reflect on to understand what is your why. Now, if we take a look at, and you're asking yourself these questions, what am I passionate about? What problem do I want to solve through this project? How do I want to make a difference in my community or even the world? What personal experiences have shaped my views and interests? And I want everyone on the call right now is to be able to write down these questions, because these are incredible questions, not only just for your personal project, but for life. Because this will allow you to be able to understand what can drive you. Because as you probably heard before, if you are doing what you love, then you're not working. It's not even a job. Okay. It is something that for a lifetime, something you will want to do forever and ever because you love to do it. And so ask yourself these questions. Now, what do? You've determined your why. You've figured it out. You've gone through all of the analysis and investigation of what drives you, what motivates you. What do we do next? The next thing is we establish SMART goals. There is no reason to be able to go ahead and initiate a project without knowing what the end in mind is. If you don't have goals and you don't follow goals, you don't follow through with goals, then it's just a dream. Okay, so we want to go ahead and follow what we call SMART goals. And probably everybody on the line has probably heard these before, but SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So, specifically, when you want to have and establishing your SMART goals, first of all, you want to establish what they have to be, again, specific. They have to be clear. They have to be pinpointed. They have to be very specific on what you want to do. It can't just say, I want to cure cancer. That is too general. You want to be able to establish a very clear goal of what you want to do and very pinpointed. Secondly, it has to be measurable. There's no way that you are able to attain your goal if you can't measure that goal to understand, did you reach that point? You got to have precise amounts. You have to have deadlines, and you have to have other indicators to truly measure your progress all along the way. A, for achievable, they have to be realistic and attainable. You have to take a look at goals that truly you'll be able to reach. Because yes, you could say, well, I want to go ahead and go into space. But if you don't have the means to do that, okay, if it's not achievable, realistic, or attainable, you won't get there. Now, of course, I would love to be an astronaut. I would love to be able to go into space. And yes, I could work as hard as I could to do that. But at this point, I don't know if that's realistic and attainable. But for those that are out there, maybe it is. Additionally, is it relevant? Now, we always said the why is the most important. Is this goal, okay, aligned with what, with your why, the values, the interests, the passions that you have within you? And lastly, it has to be time bound. You have to establish some type of deadline for a goal. This is going to foster a sense of urgency, It's going to foster prompt action. It's going to keep you accountable with respect specifically reaching that goal. If you go through the goals that you're establishing and they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, this will definitely allow you to be successful at getting to that goal. Now, whether you have successfully reached every single part of the goal, maybe not, but at least this will give you the best chance at reaching that goal. Now, here are some practical tips when you're writing your goals. First of all, make sure that you use action words. Develop, created, implemented. Okay. Another thing is be very precise. For example, don't just say learn coding. You can, here's a way to write that is complete an introductory course in Python by May 1st. You see the difference? It's using those SMART goals because it's establishing what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, timely, what specifically you're going to do, and is it in line with what you want to do for your passions. Now, quality of description, not quantity of goals. It is really, really important that for your goals, keep it simple. You don't need to have 50 goals that you will never be able to reach because there's so many of them. It is better that you have more quality goals and keeping it short rather than having 50 goals where you know you're not going to be able to attain because there's too many to manage. And lastly, always incorporate milestones. Along the way, make sure that you have the ability to know at this time, you're going to go ahead and do this specifically. So I love this phrase. This is actually the phrase that I live my life by. Okay. It was touted by Napoleon Hill. And you can see here it is plan your work and work your plan. PTW, plan the work and work the plan. It is so important that you establish a project plan. And how are you going to do that? First of all, you have to establish the where, the who, what, where, when, and how. Now, probably everybody has heard of this, the who, what, where, when, and how, but that's the simplest way, especially for students in high school, to be able to figure out what they need to do for a personal project. First of all, the who. It's important that you identify who will be developing and executing this project. Of course, that will be you, the student. But there's also support team members that will probably help you as well. Teachers, family members, friends, mentors. I'm sure that because you have, of course, friends, they have probably very similar needs, very similar interests that you have. And so what would be amazing is if you have an interest or passion to do something, that they come along with you or even help you or be one of your partners in that endeavor. Another important thing that I think a lot of students don't realize is networking. Communicate with people with same interests. I say this because I'm the kind of person who hates to reinvent the wheel. I just can't stand it. Why would you reinvent something that has already exists? So reach out to individuals that have done this before. They can give you some great insights. They can allow you to not make the same mistakes or to have you realize what possible issues that could be out there that you can steer away from, or at least if it's presented to you, you know how to go ahead and deal with them. And lastly, of course, the who. Identify the group of people you will utilize that will utilize your service or your product. So whatever you do, whether it's you have an event that teaches kids soccer, or whether you write and publish a paper on biological particles, any of that, you want to determine who are the people that are actually going to take advantage of that service or product. That's really important because then that will go ahead and steer you towards how you're going to create this plan and how you're going to implement it. The next is the what. Now, this is very simple normally. I know Coach Tony said, oh, it's more important with the whys and the whats, but of course, you still need the context, right? So define your project, but also define your boundaries, which is really important. What you don't want to do is you don't want to say, gosh, I want to go ahead and take all the salt out of the entire ocean. Okay, we know that's impossible. Okay, that is absolutely impossible. But if you say, I want to do a project on how to desalinize a salt from a cup of water, that is a very bounded type of goal. And so you're truly defining your project and making sure you're within a particular boundary that is achievable. Another thing, identify the key deliverables. This is what I call success criteria. Identify what is it going to be at what point that you are going to reach certain success criteria at the project. And it's really important to figure that out in the beginning. So you'll think about what is the end product look like? And during certain times, you're going to figure out what is it going to look like when you have success in all those milestones and times. And at the end, what does that criteria look like to say, yes, I was successful? Now, you want to also create a prioritized task list. I know that sounds pretty easy and that's normal. Everybody understands that. But you want to be able to do is to make sure that you go ahead and prioritize that task list and write down everything that you need to do in order to implement your project. And then lastly, which is really important, determine the resources that are needed, materials, type of funding that you need, possible tools that you're going to use. Maybe it's software that you're going to use. Maybe it's not software. Maybe it's something else. But really important of the what's. Now, where? Determine where your services or product will be offered. Maybe it's at a school facility. Maybe at your home. Maybe it's in a community. Maybe it's online. Maybe it's a published book that you create and then you offer it online, or you offer it to people, let's say at a library or at a school. It's important, where is this going to happen? Where is your service going to happen? Where is your product going to be offered? When? It's important that you have a timeline, a start date, a completion date, dates in between each of the start and the completion dates so that you can understand when you get to a milestone, are you being successful? Also, scheduling the time in your actual calendar in your book, having a weekly schedule where you're designating time for your personal project. So you could say every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to spend an hour a day between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon working on my project. And along the way, which goes along with the milestones, you have checkpoints along the way to say at the end of the week, I should be able to have finished this piece of the project. At the end of next week, I should be able to finish this piece of the project. So it's very important when. And when we're talking about when, and I think about this as well, and I've mentioned this in the other slides in the future, it's important that you go ahead and connect different time periods. What I mean by that is a personal project doesn't have to be such a time-bound type of situation where you only do it for a month. It could last over several months. It could last over several summers where you're doing it as summer, and then you maybe test it out in the fall and spring, and then you do it for another summer, and you test it out for fall and spring, and do another summer. So again, connecting the summers. Okay. Now, coming to the crux of the project planning, there is the how. So how you're actually going to implement this. First of all, the plan we talked about is plan the work and work the plan. You have to do the research. You have to find out all of the important information about the actual topic that you're going to look at and you're going to implement. You want to outline the particular steps for that plan. And those steps can be very clear. Identifying the interests, identifying your goals, organizing a plan, developing a schedule with deadlines, gathering the resources, all the things that the how, what, where, when, and how. Now, in executing, it's very important, and I always ask, and I ask my students this all the time, how do you eat an elephant? And the response to that is one piece at a time. Okay, you can't swallow the elephant whole. What you need to be able to do is to do it in small parts. So start small. When you start and execute a personal project, you may have a big goal, a large, hairy, audacious goal. Okay? But what you want to be able to do is you want to break up that goal into several small pieces and then implement the small piece. Concentrate on that one small piece. And once you're done with it, move on to the next one. And then once you're done with that small, move on to the next one. And you can define how small it is. It could be as small as just implementing one little piece of the puzzle, or it could maybe a group of pieces of the puzzle. It's very important. And a lot of times people don't realize this. You have to stay organized. And if you're not the kind of person that is organized, then find someone on your, when you're developing your team, find someone that can help you be organized. As well as you're going to have to solve problems along the way, because in any project, you're going to come up with problems. There's going to be problems that come up all the time. And it's a matter of not the type of problems that you experience, but it's how you deal with those problems. And another thing is, with respect to executing this, is documenting everything. The reason why is because you want to learn from your mistakes. You don't want to redo every single mistake every single time. So document everything, not only because it will allow you to evaluate to avoid mistakes, but also it will allow you to record successes so that in the future, when you want to implement this in the future, you can go back to your notes and know, okay, what is it that I did that made me successful? There's a time when you're going to do your personal project and you're going to be able to showcase your work. So that's either presenting or implementing a particular event, sharing it publicly with individuals, or even building a portfolio. So let's say that you are an artist and that you want to go ahead and create a art demonstration. Well, you want to also develop a portfolio with that, just because when you are going to go and present this and for colleges, you are going to definitely need to have a portfolio. So showcasing your work, presenting and implementing an event, sharing it publicly. Next, it's very important. So you are already in the project. You are executing on the project. You have your goals. You have your list of tasks. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to review and you're going to adjust. This is when the project is going, you're implementing it, and now you're going to have to regularly review the particular pieces that you've implemented, even get feedback from people, and you need to adjust. And that adjustment may mean that you have to find some more skills, going through research, possibly go ahead and take a class. That's the reason why we always like to say is start your personal projects early. If you can do it your freshman year. Now, if you are a junior listening and you still have time to be able to do it, because you could do it during the summer, you could continue it during your senior year. The earlier that you start, the better, because that gives you an allowance to go ahead and adjust your skills along the way. And then lastly, reflecting on this, evaluating, figuring out what is going to be the next thing, the future initiative. And then most importantly, regardless of what the result is, as long as you put in 110% into this personal project, you need to celebrate. Even the small wins are important, because one small win and you keep on getting small wins turn into a big win. So it's really important that you first establish your goals, establish what you're going to do, create a plan, and then you execute on that plan. You review what you've been doing, reflect on it, and then eventually celebrate because you've done a great job. So, how can you grow your personal project? We went through the plan. How did you've developed your personal project. Now, how are you going to make it grow? What are the tips and things that we can do in order to make sure that your personal project will grow and expand? First of all, we recommend that you do some type of what we call proof of concept. So imagine that you have started your personal project, and let's say that you are a freshman and this is your summer before your sophomore year. You've gone through the summer and you have figured out that you want to go ahead and do a workshop teaching kids soccer. And with that, you're going to go ahead and show them values for all of the various soccer skills that you're teaching them. Well, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and test your project objectives with a small sample size. So let's say instead of going with a full-blown soccer camp that's 2 weeks or so, do it for a day. Do it during a time either in the summer, or maybe you do it during the fall when it's one of the particular breaks, or during the holidays. Test out your objectives to see on a small sample size how it worked, and figure out the things that didn't work and figure out things that did work, so that when you go to a larger scale with your project, then you can go ahead and implement on, again, a much larger scale. As I mentioned, run projects during the school breaks. And this is the key thing, as I mentioned, connect your summers. A lot of students, what they do is they think, oh, okay, it's the summertime, I'm just going to do it for 3 months and then that's it. No, what happens is the schools would really love it when they can see a progression all the way through. So as I mentioned, you could do the summers, and you could do the first summer, which is, let's say, the summer before your sophomore year. You're just purely doing planning. Like I mentioned, the identifying your interests, setting clear goals, planning and organizing, seeking guidance, getting resources, maybe even learning new skills and researching, being organized, and then taking action. You can go ahead and do all of that in the summertime. Maybe you do your POC, or proof of concept, during the fall, and then the next summer you go ahead and implement a full-blown project. Let's say a full-blown camp that lasts for a week versus that lasts for 1 day. And then, of course, whenever you're doing a proof of concept, you always want to review the results of that proof of concept to make sure that the actual information, the things that you've gathered in the results, are incredible, and that you can evaluate whether you reach your success criteria or not for that particular project. Now, a lot of times students think that a personal project is just themselves and that's it. And absolutely, conceivably, it could definitely be just one person. I've seen a number of students that have done personal projects on their own. But I always say it takes a village, because there are a lot of individuals that could help you. Again, I don't like to reinvent the wheel. So recruit help from people with like interests. If you think about that you want to do a research project where you want to do cell things, or things with cells, and how maybe the environment impacts cells. Well, you may not have all of the facilities and all the things that allow you to do that, but maybe you can go and reach out to those who might, maybe professors out there in a university or a school that have the same interests, and maybe they have done a similar project that you can take and either replicate or do something a little differently. It is really, really important, not just because for personal projects, but overall, to find a mentor or an expert that can help you with ideas and issues. Again, not reinventing the wheel. There are a lot of individuals out there that would love to help people be able to reach their goals and be successful. A mentor is very important, and it doesn't have to be one, it can be several mentors. These individuals could really help not only with your personal project, but can be also recommendation letters when you are going for your application, and they can help you along the way throughout your life. So really important to find mentors that have similar interests, or mentors that are going to push you, keep you accountable, give you new ways to think, and challenge you. There are also a lot of clubs and organizations that might be able to help you provide resources. Maybe you're the kind of person that, as I mentioned, you're creating a soccer camp. And so maybe you get affiliated with one of a soccer store, or maybe there's an organization that helps kids with sports, maybe, or the YMCA or the Boys and Girls Club. Maybe you can get affiliated with them and start a program for them specifically in the way you want to do it, and you can collaborate them. Now you have the resources available right there with all the things that you need to be able to implement your project. Another thing, so seeking funding and resources. There are incredible resources out there to help students. Apply for grants, scholarships, and or even contests that support student projects. One of them here, california.grantwatch.com. They do a lot in providing California students with grant money to start particular projects. You can do fundraising. I know GoFundMe is a big thing now, and you can see everybody doing this from very small types of projects to very large ones. If you're looking for something or doing a project that really does involve or may need some sizable investment, try to fundraise that way using, let's say, GoFundMe, or you do particular events that will raise money, and this money can go towards your community, go to the charities. And of course, locally, there's usually in-kind donations. This is where I find the most success when you're trying to raise money. Because a lot of times, if you tell them, I'm doing this for the community, and this will help, let's say, a local school or a local group of individuals in the community, there are a number of businesses that will help. Yes, of course, it was a little difficult when we had that year that shall not be named, or that event that shall not be named. But now a lot of people are opening up their wallets and helping to, local businesses or community members that definitely would love to help those through your projects, not only to help you, but to help other people. Next, enhance your skills. There's a lot of times when I see students start up these projects, and the projects, they are one of those things there that they have no idea what to do with the particular project. So there are workshops and courses that you can sign up for. There's a lot of self-learning. Of course, I love to use YouTube, and you can find pretty much anything on YouTube. Or again, as I mentioned, gain knowledge from mentors and experts, those that can help you with being able to cut, and not reinvent the wheel, but to be able to immediately get to the answer of certain things. That is incredible. The workshops and courses, there are so many workshops and courses now online where you can get certifications, or you can go ahead and just get knowledge on skills that you may need for your project. Let's say you are going to be creating an application, a computer application, but you want to do it mobile. Well, maybe you go and get a certification on mobile programming, or you take a look at examples of what people have done online with respect to mobile programming. Another thing here is share, promote, and publicize. I can't say this enough. Some people are very resistant to be able to share things or go on social media. I know some of the negatives in sense of social media, but you know what? Social media and being able to share all of that is really important when it comes to your personal project, because the more impact you can make on individuals, the better. First of all, document everything. Do a blog, do a vlog, a video log, in which, let's say that you want to create a project because you were a foodie. And what you want to do is let's say you have a particular condition. I don't know, let's say you have diabetes, or someone in your family has been affected by diabetes. Maybe you do a vlog where you go to local restaurants and find out what foods are good and what foods are not so good for those who are diabetic. And you start posting that on, and maybe you may get some hits on that, especially, let's say, if it's a juvenile diabetes. That's an example where you could document all of those things, and it might help someone out there. It's important that you maybe outreach in media. A lot of times, you can see these postings, or you can see these stories that the local media or the television or radio where they mention about some individual that did something that you probably would have never heard of unless you heard it from them, reach out to the media and say, hey, I'm doing this type of project where I think it's going to really help the community, and can I promote it? Or they may even ask, to have you come in and answer questions about it. Or they may be able to advertise. Let's say you're throwing in let's say a race to cure cancer, right? And so they can help you with that, right? Social media, of course, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of the different types of media where you can go ahead and show them either the services or products, or maybe your views or interests, that will allow them to see who you are and to possibly invest in putting in either some type of resource into the project that you're looking for, as well as public speaking. Now, I know a lot of people probably don't like to speak in public, but for those who do, or maybe you have a person on your team that can represent you, going out there and speaking in various venues to talk about what you're doing as part of your project. And lastly, some people will maybe publish content. Maybe, I know there was some students that I work with where they were writing their own novel. Okay, that's amazing if it gets published. Or you put it out there in some type of media where people can read your content. Again, showing your creativity. But the key thing here is you want to make sure that you are able to explain what you went through to be able to get to where you are. One of the things that I think a lot of the students are not able to grasp sometimes when they're doing their personal project is to really adapt and innovate. And I'll give you an example. There was one individual that I was working with in which was really focused on trying to figure out how to create this computer application with all these bells and whistles. And he just kept on going and was getting so frustrated that he couldn't figure out how to make this program. And when we sat down and talked, and I asked him, well, what is your end goal? What are you trying to do? And he said, well, basically, his personal project was to gather all information about baseball stats. And he wanted to go ahead and create this amazing application that could evaluate which players are more effective than others because of that. Well, he was having a problem with the computer application. Then we kind of sat down. I said, well, is that really important? Is that something that you really want to do? Or maybe we can simplify it. And in looking at it, he started looking at the data and found out that, well, maybe instead of doing all of Major League, he could focus on just all of the batters and their hitting percentages. And so he started narrowing his scope, figured out that who is the best batting percentage, what conditions they were, what position did they play, and started exploring all of the big hitters and their characteristics. And at the end of the day, he didn't even need the computer application. What he did is he started doing some simple math and created a simple spreadsheet, but it was very effective because he was able to figure out because of certain conditions, what were the greatest batters and the greatest scorers in baseball. Because he opened up his mind, he was open to change. Instead of, he could have just stuck there and eventually get aggravated and just get stuck and stop because he didn't like what he was doing. He switched. He also experimented. And the biggest thing that I always tell my students when they're doing something is fail fast and learn. Fail fast and learn. I would rather if you're going to fail fast. Because if you're going to fail fast, then you're going to get to the result faster. Because when you failing is not failure. Failing is getting closer to success because you're figuring out and ruling out what the things that are not working and trying to figure out things that will work. So fail fast. And lastly, one of my favorite shows is Ted Lasso. And he said this in his show a lot. And I don't know if anyone knows that Ted Lasso. It's a great thing to go ahead and binge if you ever get a chance. But he mentioned saying, be a goldfish. So goldfish have the shortest short-term memory. Okay, they have the shortest memory. One of the animals out there that have one of the shortest, if not the shortest memory. Be a goldfish. If you hit something where you fail, let's say you fail or you make a mistake or so, be a goldfish. Just forget it. It's already done. Move on. Fail fast. Experiment. Be open to change. Try something new. Switch, because that is the points when you adapt and you innovate that you probably will get to a much more successful result. Now, lastly, sometimes students don't think about this, and I think it's really important to figure out, and this is the final tip here, is plan for longevity. When you are doing a project, and if it's something that you feel like you may not continue on, pass it on to somebody else. Identify and train someone to continue so that the work that you invested in can still get going, can still move forward, can still advance, and can still make an impact on the community. Maybe if you do want to go ahead and continue on, try to find some institutional support. Incorporate your project into, let's say, a new school program or a local organization. I had one individual where she loved art and she loved environmental science. And so she created a 6-week workshop for middle schoolers to learn about art and environmental science. Well, with that, she created a nonprofit, and now in colleges continue on with that particular project. And the thing is that she was able to incorporate this program into the local schools in an area, and now is going to expand in the college area that she's at to those local schools. And so she got institutional support, and now really making an impact not only in the lives of young adults or young kids, but also on the environment itself. And you could also try to find long-term funding. So if you want to go ahead and see if there's someone who will support you from a resources standpoint, whether it's financial, whether it's individuals, whether it's particular materials so that you can continue on. Think about the longevity, not only just connecting summers, but think about connecting years. And of course, continuing in college, the amazing things that you do, because that's something that could not only you can incorporate in the major and maybe even your career. It could be something that you could, perpetuate all the way through. Okay. So, how many of you want to see some personal project samples? Anyone out there? I hope people, I think we're still out there, Tony. I think so many amazing. I don't know what the count is right now. I'm sure it's incredible. Yes, everyone. I think a lot of people out there know that I love reactions. But if you could type in yes for me, you could type in yes, 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 yes. I love it. Type in yes. I want to show you some personal project samples. Okay, here we go. So first of all, here's one, and I kind of separated these into different types. So here's one that is a computer science related one. Okay. If you have a passion for technology and coding, create a mobile app to solve a common problem in your community. How would you do that? First of all, you would have to learn some type of programming language. Let's say Swift for the iOS or Java for Android. You're going to design the app, code, test, and release it. Now, some of the resources are online courses, coding communities, and application development tools. And then how would you showcase that? Well, you could show that and present that as school fare. Submit it to the app stores. I've seen students where they actually created an app, a mobile app, and then they presented it to Apple, and Apple accepted it, and they were able to go ahead and sell it on the App Store. Or you could include it in a digital portfolio. So that's a very simple a sample of what you could do with respect to a technology project. Now, let's look at another one, a community garden. I know there was a student that loved gardening, and she thought, oh, that's not something that, why would that be important? A community garden. If you love gardening and sustainability, create a community garden to promote local food production. What you're going to have to do, research gardening techniques, secure a plot, gather materials, of course, plant the materials and maintain the garden. But this is something that you can get the community involved to help you with. Get your friends, your family, people from different organizations, and then unveil it, okay? Like certain resources, local gardening clubs, community grants. There's definitely grants that you can get for this type of project. Gardening tools that people might donate. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who have a bunch of gardening tools in their garage. Then showcase it, organize a community event, create a blog documenting the garden's progress, and include it in your college applications, talking about the community garden that you created and how it's sustaining people, and how and maybe what you can do is you can start creating a series of these community gardens. And lastly, for those who have an artistic realm, for those who are passionate about visual arts, I've seen this happen already. I've seen a student that actually created an art exhibition, create and exhibit a series of artworks on a specific theme. Okay, so you're going to develop the theme, you're going to create the artwork, find a venue, and organize an exhibition. Not only does it have to be your artwork, it could be other students' artwork that are similar and have a certain theme to it. Some of the resources that you'll be using is their art supplies, local art galleries or community centers. Talk to art mentors that have done this before, and they can help you with organizing, or maybe that you can latch on to one of their art exhibitions and be part of that. And then, of course, showcasing, hosting an exhibition, share on social media, create an online portfolio. There are so many different types of projects that can be done, and it's only limited by your imagination. A personal project can be anything. It does not have to have any necessary same parameters as other personal projects. It can be alone for yourself doing it. It can be a series of individuals that help out. It could be a whole organization doing it. It just all depends on how you want to make an impact out there in the community, in the world, with the particular interests and things that you are passionate about, or things that wake you up in the morning. So now that you know how to start and grow your personal project, now you know. We have a special offer, and I'm going to turn this over to the master of ceremonies here, my partner in crime here, Coach Tony, to introduce that
real
special
quick
offer.
That was amazing. So I even learned a few things about person. If you guys can go ahead and drop some reaction. Coach Art loved the little emojis,
I love the little
claps,
emojis, you know I do.
If you guys can drop it in the chat for him, so he can feel a little happy. He can feel happy he's drinking water. He definitely talked a lot as well. Lots of knowledge.
Thank you so much, everybody. I loved it
during the time. So again, that was super awesome. Again, that's only just part two. I lied, it's part one. That's part one of the comments, right? There's just three more things left. So again, we have a special offer. Really fast, by the way. Again, give and take. I think in life, right? Give and take as well too. We gave you a bunch of knowledge. We're gonna ask you guys real fast, right? So if you are a fast buyer like me, you're like, we're ready. Let's purchase out. Pull out your credit cards. I'll give you guys like 20 seconds. Pull out, boom. Because what I'm gonna offer you guys are boom, gonna swipe it, take my card. That meme where you smash the card and you swipe. That's what's gonna happen in like 60 seconds from now. So now that we gave you all the information, everything you need to have your child jump in to their very own project, what if I told you there was more? What if I told you there was more as well too? I see people dropping off this call. They're gonna miss out. They're gonna miss out as well too, right? If it's your very first time, you'll see that we are very big on I lied. They came back, right? They're really big on over delivering it for you all. So today, we're not just gonna give you guys the step-by-step knowledge. What if we also gave you the tools you need to succeed? Again, we said a lot of words today, right? A lot of words. And if you're taking notes, I was on like 3 pages of notes today on my own, right? I know you had a lot of notes. What if we just gave you all the tools so you can easily plug it in for your child to help them out with this journey? So for those who are ready with that credit card in hand, we have something prepared for you today. What if your child's not sure? Let me know in the chat if this is you. Say yes in the chat. You're like, you know what? I'm not quite sure what my child is interested in. If you're the student, by the way, you can say yes yourself. I'm not sure what I'm interested like this is amazing. This sounds great, but you know what? I'm not quite sure. My God, got lots of yeses flowing in. Like, I'm not quite sure what the thing is, right? I got you. No worries. What if we gave you the opportunity to get our 28-page, 100 personal project ideas? Coach Art and I brainstorm. We're like, what if we were high school students, right? What ideas can we give? Again, you might not do these, right? You might do, right? You might pull one like, this is great. I want to do this one. But the idea is giving you a fast start inside, for example, right? Going off of Coach Art's samples of our students we did. These are some ideas that were inspired by a lot of our own coaching students. So these are not done yet. So if you want to be the ones who kind of claim these, go for it, right? One idea, a youth leadership workshop series. What if you want to create a series of workshops aimed at empowering youth, leadership, public speaking, project management? Again, who is this best for? Again, it's not best for everyone, right? And it shouldn't be best for everyone. Who's if you feel your child is a leader, if they're like an educator, they want to teach people, right? This is perfect for you. Another option, what if your child's more athletic, right? Hey, my kid loves sports. What can they do? Here's an idea, an accessible exercise program. What if you develop exercise programs or tutorials for people with disabilities, promoting fitness and wellness for all? Again, if your child's athletic, they love to advocate for others, right? Super awesome idea. Another one, what if your child's an artist, right? And also a little bit entrepreneurial, right? They want like, hey, I like making money. Maybe they're on Pinterest. They were selling their stuff on Etsy and all this stuff as well too. They can create an online marketplace and showcase and sell the products made by local artists. They're the host. They are bringing everyone together on their site, on their marketplace, and promoting everyone, again, promoting your local area and supporting everyone at the same time, right? Who would be interested in this book? Let me say, drop a yes in the chat if you guys would be interested. 100 ideas for you guys to get started. You can steal some. You guys can go ahead and use as an inspiration. Lots of yeses flowing in as well too. If you guys want, well, again, get your credit cards ready. This book is only $27. How incredible. Again, one idea. Imagine the impact that you guys can create with this to help your child get into their top choice college. As a result, is that worth $27 to you? Not all, right? I like to always one up myself. So if we also, because you have the ideas, right? But how do you implement it? You have the idea. Okay, I found the idea, Coach Tony, on page 34, idea number 72. I want to do that. Cool. How do you make it happen though? Everything Coach Art talked about today, we put it in an interactive workbook, step by step, for you to figure out everything. It's a personal project planning guide. 22 pages, you plug in the idea on page 1, and you walk through every single thing to help your child get it, get that, to make sure the project is executed as well too. If we gave you guys both of those for $27, who would still be interested in that? Oh, the yeses are flowing in still. Yeses are flowing in if you guys want that as well too. Well, right, sadly, we're not going to charge you guys $27 because again, we are the kings of our living. It's not going to be $27. Nuh-uh. Only $7. Only $7. You get both these guys again. One idea that can stir up your child, help them get that unfair advantage, get to the top choice school. How much would it be worth it to you if your child got into the UCLA because of this, gone to the Harvard because of this? Only $7. Boom, now the yeses are coming in. Now the yeses are coming in. They're excited for that as well too. But you guys know Coach Art and I, right? You want to see something cool? Everyone type the word cool in the chat. I need at least like 10 cools. COOL. Type the word cool in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, too many. Voila. Free. Is it okay? Do I have permission to give you both of these guides? No cost. I just want to give it to you as our gift, as our free gift for attending, for making it this far. Thank you for the yup. As well too. Give you both of these items here. People are excited. Oh, the hearts are coming in. Thank you. Thank you.
I love it.
Hearts for you. I'm gonna pass on those
Yay.
hearts as well too, right?
But I love the thank yous and the cools. Yes.
Those who register, we're gonna go ahead and send it to you guys afterwards. If not, if you didn't register and you found your way here to this room, I'll give you our team's number. You can text them. They'll send you over these freebies after this call. But there's one more thing. There's always one more thing as well too. I want to introduce something really cool and really exciting. Coach R
Amazing.
have been working on for the past
Woo.
few months. We've been doing this for actually a long time and a few months,
Yep.
but it's official. We made it official the last few months, and today I'm super excited to announce it. It's called the 30-day personal project incubator. Can I have 2 minutes of your time? Drop a yes if I can explain what this 30-day incubator is. I think you're gonna like it. I think
I think
you guys
so. I
might
think
get a little
so, Tony.
excited. I think you're gonna do the happy dance with Coach Tony over the screen. All right, let's talk about it, right? What is the personal project incubator? Coach Art and I would like, this is such a powerful tool. This is, again, not just for college admissions. This helps our students understand who they are, what they believe in, their identity, what they will end up doing in the future. More students should have this opportunity. But the hardest part is always the beginning, right? The hard part is always the very beginning of the journey. Once they have it rolling, our students are great. Once they have the ideas and they have the first few steps done, they snowball so incredible. We see so many amazing stories our students do. But the hardest part where most students get stuck at is that first 30 days. So we're like, how do we make sure our students make it past the first 30 days? Because that snowball will start to happen. So with the personal project incubator, we're going to give you 4 weeks of guided project development, help you with every step of the way. For the first 4 weeks, there's going to be live sessions, recorded tutorials, interactive group calls, and a comprehensive workbook. It will follow you all through 4 weeks, day by day. Do this. Now, look this up, write the answer here, step by step. So there's no reason, there's no excuse but to win in this project. Let's break it down. Week number 1, we're going to help our students figure out the ideas, help them plan it out, right? Set the goals that Coach Art talked about. We're going to help them brainstorm. We'll have group calls and hot seats to help our students figure out the ideas. Again, if so many kids say, I want to create a tutoring service, you know how many students want to create a tutoring service, right? So that is not original. That is not unique. Coach Art and I have seen thousands, that's just us, not even our others coaches as well too. We've seen thousands of families. For us, every student should have a unique, meaning they're the only one. I showed you the Shark Tank project earlier. You've never seen that, and that's by design, because no one will see that. So our goal is to help our students figure out what's so unique to them, and there is a way to make it unique there. We help you with project planning to make you guys through that journey there. Week number 2, once you have the ideas, you have the framework, we help you get it all set up. Again, everything Coach R is saying, look at that. We'll help you figure out the research, the resource gathering, help you create that timeline for everything, help you get the resources that you need to make it happen. Week number 3, execution. We figure out planning. We have planned the work. Now we are going to work that plan. We're going to start the project. We're going to guide you, literally hold your hand through that entire process, help you troubleshoot. Because again, is your first attempt going to work? No. Just like life, you will fail, and that's okay. That's by design. That is one of the lessons of the personal project. Hey, didn't work out that. And for some students, it's going to work out perfectly the first time, right? But who knows? As you're getting stuck, we're going to walk you through each step there. Mid-project check-in, give the students feedback there. And week number 4, growth and presentations, right? Teach the students, okay, even ask, I saw a question here, what happens after week 4, right? We help you plan out the rest. But here's where it gets fun. There's no template for personal projects, right? Everyone's doing their own thing, because if we gave you a template, how many tutoring services do you think we'll create? Or how many other things will we create? No. Every project you need to each student, that's why everyone's path is different. Coach Art today named, I counted at least 20 different activities he name dropped today. If you guys were taking notes, so many, and they're all so different, but they're so all amazing because each one is unique to that student specifically and their story. So we'll help a student figure out what happens after the 4 weeks. We'll help them present. Again, one of the things that we teach, public speaking, presenting skills, not just to show you do this, help them learn how to present the product, just like research, just like these internships. We help them understand how to put together a presentation, share it to, again, a safe community of our own incubator students there, right? Someone asked for tuition, hang on tight for the tuition, right? Every single week, we're gonna have weekly calls with our students. There's a training call every week. There's gonna be a hot seat group coaching call, and then there'll be an async. If you can't make the group call, you can still get your help with that. All the calls are available for replay. There's a workbook, fully guided, comprehensive example pages. One page, we help the students figure out to use a decision matrix to figure out their idea. Another page will have a detailed timeline with the milestones. Again, man, everything Coach R is teaching, we're giving you everything step by step, how to acquire resources, some recommendations when it comes to here as well too. Community, that is the biggest component, right? Not just, again, we're not working by ourselves. We're working along with a team, side by side with folks or within together. People can collaborate. One thing we've learned is that, again, two students can have very similar ideas. What if they tag teamed, right? Dream team, right? Come together, do something even bigger, share in progress, ask questions, supporting each other here, right? So recap, 4 weeks of guided development, trading calls, hot seat calls, workbook, community service. We're also going to give awards to the project. We're going to give certificates of completion to these students in the incubator as well too. Our first cohort of this is going to be July 2024. It's virtual. I mean, if you guys are traveling, you guys are good. If they're doing summer classes, they're still good. If you're doing anything, you're still good because we'll meet you online. It's a lot of us will move asynchronously, so it's very accessible for every single student here. So the question, someone asked, how much is this as well too? People, I asked you guys earlier, you have the credit card out, right? We have the credit card. You ready? The tuition, again, we gave you guys 2 freebies. We taught you last knowledge. This is our ask now. Okay? You guys ready? Tuition for this, $1,000. Our goal is by the end of the year, by the summer, you should have everything ready to go. You will snowball this. What if this is the reason your child gets into UC Berkeley and goes on and becomes an incredible leader? What if it gets into Stanford? People are saying, where's the link? Where's the link right now? Right? Gets them to all these places here, right? We're not going to charge $1,000. Come on, guys. You know me by now, right? Not $1,000. 550% off right here for everyone who's interested in getting started and for 1 month, right? No, not yet. Coach R is looking at me, give me the eye right now. We're not going to do 500 either. For this personal project incubator, $100, right? Our goal is to give you guys all the access, all the support. Erica, now people are asking for a link now. Now you're like, where's the link here? Right now, we're going to give you guys all the tools so you guys need to succeed there. Right? I got more people are in now. We're in now. And for those who said we're in, you must be new here, right? You know, Coach R and I, we over-deliver. And when we say we over-deliver, we over-deliver. If you guys want to join the personal project incubator with everything I mentioned, free. Is that okay? Permission? Real quick, permission, is that okay if I share that with you guys for free? Is that okay with you all if we share the project, the PPI for free? Okay, we got the wows are coming in. The wows, I got the hearts. Give the hearts, Coach Art. That's Coach Art. There you go. Boom. As well too. For free. However,
gotta type in yes. Gotta type in yes.
Have a little star there. It has to have a little star. Little star real fast, right? Little star there as well too, right? Our first, if you want to join our first July cohort, we will only open this up to our coaching families, right? So our July cohort that we're going to launch is free, but it's only available to our coaching families. For everyone who's already in our coaching program, I teased you guys earlier before this call, congrats, you guys are in as well too, right? And if you're not already in our program, in 60 seconds, I'm going to share you guys, if you guys want to consider that, right? I'll tell you guys what that will look like as well too. And if you want to move forward, we can help you guys with that. There's 3 things about this first cohort I do have to share so people don't get mad at me after this, right? July's cohort will be live, right? Meaning we're going to do everything in a live format. There will be a next one. There we will have one in August. We'll have one in September, October, November, and moving on. This is a new permanent fixture that we're going to add on to our programs, right? It will always be free as well too. Free. But this first July one is going to be live. So we're going to run PPI as a self-paced async program in the future for our future cohorts. So we're going to do live for families, live. Pre-recorded videos for the future one. So August, September, October, moving on, there'll be pre-recorded videos for the training component, right? Number 2, future cohorts will not offer hot seat group calls. We will still have support. We'll still help you with every single thing, just not the live call. So similar, there'll be a lot of async and self-paced support. Students still ask for help. We'll still give answers, but it won't be in a live setting there, right? And number three, I think I'm kind of cool as well. I think this is the only cohort that Coach Tony will personally work with all of our PPI students with this project. In the future, our coaches will be leading this, right? Our coaches will be leading, but this one, I'm leading all of the hot seat calls. I'm leading all the training calls. So you guys get to work directly with me on this first course. So with that said, can I get your permission really fast for those coaching families you guys are in? I'll share more details later this week, but for those who are not in our coaching program yet, is it okay I share 10 minutes? Probably not fast. Coach, I'm going to probably do 5 minutes. 5 minutes talking about our coaching programs. Before we jump into Q, we have some really good questions that I want to answer as well too. So Coach, I was going to take 5 minutes to talk about our coaching programs and we'll jump in. Is that okay with everyone? Say yes in the chat if that's okay. Permission.
Please say yes.
Really quick. Yes. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So here, Coach R is going to take a quick 5 minutes, share how we help our families guarantee their college admission success. Go ahead, Coach Art.
All right, here we go. Special invitation for those, okay, class of 2026, 2027, and 2028, meaning our freshmen, sophomore, juniors or so, okay? Those are incoming. Gosh, I can't believe it's already June. Here we go. So first of all, one of the things here is we want to invite you to our college admissions coaching program. What does that involve? I want to go ahead and break those down. Basically, we provide college and career support, academic support, activity support, college application support, and there's also unlimited support. I'm going to break those down right now for you. The first thing is college and career. Of course, it is really important to find out what type of colleges is your student wanting to go to. And we help with that. It's all the colleges within the United States, and we've even done when they're international as well. We go through and we provide quizzes and tests to be able to figure out what type of career that they might get into, they're interested in as a career exploration. Most importantly, as well, is to try to figure out what kind of major that they want to get into, and that's based on their passions and their interests, the things that they like to do in school. And that happens as an evolutionary process because, as of course you probably know, their freshman year they may want to do something like engineering, and then all of a sudden their senior year they want to be doing history. But again, we help through that whole entire process of figuring that out. And if it happens that maybe they're not in line for, let's say, a 4-year program, also help with community college and gap year guidance. Secondly, for their academics, which is so very important, 9, 10, 11, and 12, of course, we help with class strategy and selection. We make sure that based on the majors that they may be interested in, that we guide you through on the type of classes and the curriculum that you should be following when it comes to that particular major, and especially possibly that type of school, to figure out the rigor and the type of rigor that they need to take to make sure that they have a successful application. Dual enrollment, for those who may not know dual enrollment, it's community college classes where you're enrolled in both high school and at a community college level. We help with what type of courses you can take in dual enrollment. Outside courses, for example, like BYU and UC Scout, which are educational programs online. Strategies on how to improve your grades. And most importantly, as you know, the SAT and ACTs are coming back, especially for those that are the Ivy Leagues. We provide Magoosh Test Prep, which is an amazing partner of ours to help you prepare for the SAT or ACT. From activities perspective, we have activities. We look at the strategies and the type of activities that you use and how to select them and how to commit to them and how to have leadership. And again, you can see here, like what Coach Tony just presented, the PPI, the Personal Project Incubator, brand new, ongoing support after 30 days once you've completed the 4 weeks. And of course, support with internships, research programs, program applications. It doesn't mean that internships and research programs are bad. Absolutely not. They can be very, very effective and incredible for your application. So we also help in supporting and trying to help locate and to gain internships, research, and program maps. And on top of that, we also have our own programs for getting internships, research, and research programs. And of course, 9, 10, and 11, you're concentrating on your activities, you're concentrating on your academics. Well, when you become your senior, we have unlimited college application support. What does that mean? We have what's called a college application intensive live event in which we do 2-day sessions, Saturday and Sunday, where we go ahead and we make sure that the students come in. We work on their application with the goal of completing their applications in 2 days. We do essay brainstorming and unlimited edits and revisions, college application send-off calls. So once they finish all their applications, we have a final call to make sure that their applications are in the best shape to submit. We also, after the fact, when they've submitted, some colleges ask for supplemental apps or supplemental information. We support all supplemental application interviews. And on top of that, we establish early internal deadlines to make sure that our students get and submit their applications early so that they can enjoy their senior year. And lastly, unlimited support. Our fee for this program in high school, it is a lifetime access. We do not charge you anything else except for one fee, and that's it, which lasts you all the way until the students graduate. We provide a customized, personalized roadmap plan to make sure that you can see exactly what you need to do from now until you graduate. We have monthly check-ins where we make sure we keep update forms. We have daily coaching, office hours, and chat support. It's unlimited chat support with a 24-hour response time, 24/7, 365, especially with our AI support bot and also our live coaches. And then lastly, scholarship support, where we help you search and apply for particular scholarships, because of course we don't want you to pay for the education of your child if you don't need to. So you can see here everything. It's such a laundry list of things, so many things on one price for everything that you can see here that I just talked about. I'm not going to go ahead and read all of these because there's just too many. But again, amazing services for something that is so very important for your student and your family to make it to the school of their dreams. So, Tony, can I ask you, how much?
Yeah,
How
let's
much?
talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Okay,
about
let's talk
it,
about
right?
it.
Let's
All
talk about it. And again, it's funny. We spent 90 minutes talking about personal project. Look how tiny. Look how tiny that played a role in like our
Exactly.
entire thing that we offer. It's like a fraction, it's like 1% of our program as well, too. So how much is it? And we hear that companies charge for this type of service year by year. We think that's silly, right? It's why realistically, parents, not parents, they would try to save as much money as they can. They'd wait till the very end, right? But what's the issue of waiting to the very end? You might not be on track, right? So what ends up happening, we play catch up with you really hard, and there's few things we cannot play catch up from. Is that the thing? So I think this model is kind of silly. Some other companies give you like 20 hours, 50 hours, whatever hours, and you kind of deplete it. But what if you need more? What if you want to have more questions, more help? Does it mean you have to pay more? Again, we'll always tell our families, we're not accountants. We don't want to keep track of the hours that you guys do as well, too. So what we do, how we ensure success for all of our families, truly unlimited comprehensive support. We are literally with you guys from now until the very end. We don't do monthly coaching calls. We do literally daily coachings, right? So every single time you have a question, you ask. Live call, office hours. We got chat support running as well too. Our chat support, if you got to look at it, it goes off every single time as well too. We were super happy to see it because we want to help as many families as we can here. If you guys are interested, our tuition starts at $3,500 lifetime, meaning if you start the junior, sophomore, freshman, even 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, starting in 6th grade, that's the total price. We don't charge per year. It's not a year-by-year price. That's the total. Mathematically, if you can do some simple math for me, if you have a junior, if you divide out, right, 2 years, incoming junior, that's less than $5 a day. If it means that if you can hold off on drinking Starbucks, your child's in our coaching program. Sophomore down to $3, even freshmen down to $2.30 as well, too. And that's not including middle school. If you have a middle school family, I saw some people say, I'm a middle school family. It's even lower because it's the same price, take care of you guys all the way there as well, right? And if those of you guys with siblings, there is a discount for you guys as well, too. So here's your official invitation. I'm in the chat. I'm going to drop a link If you guys are just curious, right? Doesn't mean you have to do it. It just means you are curious. We encourage you guys to book a free one-on-one college admission assessment. This is a quick 15-minute chat. You'll talk with one of our incredible advisors, Coach Jay, Coach Stephanie, Coach 2. 15-minute chat. You cannot buy on this call. If you show with a credit card, they'll tell you, okay, put it away. I have nothing to sell you on this session. The first 15 minutes, their goal is just kind of diagnose where you guys are at, give you guys some recommendations of next steps there, right? 2 steps, ask you questions, give you a recommendation. The reason why people ask, like, what's the catch? What's the scam here? No real scam here, right? For us, our mission is to make college admission accessible. Those families who have been here for a while, you know, we don't hold anything back. This is just another training for us. There's nothing fancy that we do every single week. We give you everything. When you need stuff, we give you all the stuff that you need. Again, we give you all the information. So you guys, whatever you guys need, you guys can have that, right? And if you guys are interested in working with us, right? If you like us, if we like you, right? We have an incredible coaching community inside our coaching programs. And, right, you guys, we invite you guys to take the next step and learn about our coaching programs after that too. Okay, so 15 minutes, we cannot buy anything in this call. At the end, if you want to move forward, right, I said you don't want to move forward, it's not a good fit, no worries, you'll still have our feedback and you guys are good to go. If not, if you guys are ready to be one of our next success stories, you let our team know. They'll set up another call to explain what the programs will look like for your family there. So if you guys are interested, one more time, there's a link in the chat. You guys can go ahead and go there. Or if you guys have your phone ready, you can just text the team 415-938-8721. The word 15. The word 15. 15 will book you guys that call. Again, for those of you guys, again, who didn't register for some reason, right? And you got this call and you want the freebies, text freebies to our team. They'll go ahead and take care of you guys there as well too. All right. With that being said, I'll give you guys some time to get booked in. But Coach Art, we have a few questions that kind of popped in as well too. I would love to kind of just ask you, sir, and you can go ahead and just take them and rattle them off as well.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna ask the question. First, it says, where do you discuss your passion projects on the application? Great question. Great question. I know I can take that one, Coach
Go
Tony.
ahead, sir.
Basically, if you, what happens is you're going to be talking about that in the prompts, or maybe you guys call essays. Like for specifically in the UC application, you have 4 out of 8 questions that you have to answer. That is where you would talk about your particular passion projects, or what we call personal projects, in those particular prompts. Okay, and that's where, and on top of that, you maybe even to mention, you could mention as an activity as well if there's some type of activity, but mainly it's in the prompts itself. Next question. If I have a 2026 and a 2028 grandson, can they do a personal project together if they are launching a business or charity? Absolutely, 100% yes.
Yeah, I think the one thing I want to add to that, right? Again, this is going back to the what versus why. For me, is why business, why charity, right? It is the biggest thing as well too, right? Because keeping in mind, by the way, real quick, people kept getting freebies. We don't have the freebies. I have nothing on me as well too. If you guys want to text our team has the freebies, not us. So text freebies to this number. They will take care of you. If you text here, I won't have your information. Plus, you guys use both like pseudonyms and stuff there too. Right? But going back, why are you doing the charity? Why are you doing things? When parents tell me, I want to do a nonprofit, I want to do research. I'm like, again, why? Why do you want to do it? Right? And what's the thing is, there has to be a reason. The best filter I always tell families is that if I told the student, all right, Coach Art, you can do that thing, but you can't put it on your college applications, would you still want to do it?
Exactly.
Right? Is the biggest filter question. Because again, if the student's like, why then? Why am I doing all this work if I'm not going to get credit for it and our colleges won't see it? That is probably the worst thing to do on your college app, because again, the reason why students get rejected is not because of the what they did, it's because there was a lack of the why they did that thing for. So again, I'm sure, right? There is a reason why you're doing business, why you're doing charity. That's the more important thing, right? Not the what. We're not just doing stuff to just look good as well too. It's the why specific itself. Right.
Coach Tony, I want to just ask the team, because gosh, we said 90 minutes. We're 10 minutes late.
Oh,
so sorry and apologize, but can you guys give us some time so that we can answer these questions? Is that okay if you can say yes? in the chat if you guys can stay with us a little bit.
Yeah, I
We
think
would
we have
love
like
to be able to
10
answer
more
these
questions. So I
questions.
think give us less than 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes.
I think
Okay,
10
good,
minutes or
good,
less.
good. Okay,
All right.
then I love it. Next question: is there a danger that personal projects could be perceived as a one-off box that is checked in the summer? Don't college one summer, but over several years. So I will put, and then Tony, I'm sure Tony, you have an opinion as well.
Go ahead.
You saw my presentation. Connect the summers. Absolutely, you can get a much more bang for your buck if you are having a personal project that spans across time, as long as that project that spans across time is incrementally increasing and getting much, it's not necessarily a bit bigger, but much more detailed, much more involved, much more elaborate in the sense of the things that you are doing. Typically, as I mentioned, you can go ahead and use some one summer for planning, and then the next summer, if you're as a freshman, next summer to do some smaller venues or events, and then you make it big when you get closer. Or you can do all of that in a short period of time. It doesn't really matter. There's not the key thing that Coach Tony mentioned. It's not necessarily the what or even the result. It is what it's the journey that you took, and that if you can explain that clearly in your prompts, all the things that you did, why did it inspire you? What are the struggles and the adversity you went through, and how did you overcome those? What did you learn from it? Maybe how did it make you a better person? How did it make other people better people? That is what the key thing here in doing personal projects is, and that's the secret sauce when you're putting that in.
I love it.
In
And I
your
think just to
prompts.
add on really quick, right? I think one thing we can all kind of agree on, a lot of us kind of believe in second chances for people, right? Second chances, redo, like making up for mistakes. Here's a scenario, right? That happens all the time. This is like the thing that makes me the most sad about everything, right? Some of our families have been here for a very long time. Again, I see some names. I've seen your name for years, right? In our calls every single week as well too. You've been here for a very, very long time, right? We have had also some families, for example, specifically, it's like watching the like exact timing, a lot of incoming seniors just joining us, just finding out about us, our services and that as well too, right? And like then, if you never had this guide, keep in mind, high school counselors are great at helping you graduate from high school. They're not there to help you go to college, right? They'll do the best they can because they want you to win, but they don't have the skill sets that like our team that specializes in college admission. The reason why our students are so consistent with results, right, is that we just know exactly what they need. And for some juniors, it's like, hey, no matter what we do, I really cannot do much here. There's always a plan B though, right? If you open a community college, we can definitely help you guys there as well too. So again, the question, like, is it too late? Is there one thing? What if you just found out like, oh my goodness, I just have this interest for this as well too? What if you've been doing this thing, but you actually never liked this thing, right? Or some parents, right, having your kids do something they don't like to do, and you're finally seeing the light, and you're like, you know what? My child shouldn't be doing stuff like that. They should be doing this instead, because this thing is what gets them excited, right?
Yep.
Is it bad to have the students talk about summer? No, right? Because that's the story. Like that again, the why is still the most important thing of this whole thing. Again, I told you that one slide is the big takeaway of us, right? It's not the what we do to look good or whatever. It's why do we do it? Hey, I just realized I never liked the coding stuff, right? I really like the environment, doing the stuff here, doing this gardening project got me so much more hype. I got more personal enjoyment, more impact from my life this summer than the last 3 years of coding random things as well too. Right?
And
So
Tony,
keep
I
in mind,
think
it's always
there's
the
one.
story.
Yeah, and I think one thing as well is people don't understand is they think a personal project has to result in success. It doesn't. It could be a complete failure.
Correct.
But the thing is that what did you learn from that failure? How did you move on? How did you become better? And that's where we're talking about fail fast, keep moving forward. Those are the kind of things that the colleges and the readers want to see. They want to see how you overcame. And I love it. Thank you. I'll say Christy, first name, character growth. That is what they want to see, because you're going to be going through adversity in college. How are you going to get over that? And that's a true indication if you can describe it well. And another question out there, Coach Tony, that was said is that does it have to be related to your major? Not necessarily. Now, a lot of students because they love their major, they think they love their major, the interest, they will do something, but it's
Right.
because, remember, it's something that you're interested in. Maybe you have a passion towards, maybe you have it, that's something that you have longing to do for so long. Usually that matches to their major, but it doesn't have to be. Because remember, the important part here is not the actual that you were right, every single journey. All right, let's take a look at the next question. Is it useful? Oh, is junior year summer too late to start a personal project related to your major without any extracurriculars that are major related? No, you can start. We have a number of students that start their junior year or their summer before their senior year. Again, it's as long as it's time bound and you have good goals, and realistic result criteria that you'll be able to reach. It's not a problem with starting it in junior year because you're just showing. Remember, it's about the process, right?
Right.
Is it useful to do pre-college programs? Is it useful to do pre-college programs? Does that add value to your college application? What do you think, Coach Tony?
That's a great question as well, too. Again, this is one of those questions. Again, ask yourself the filter. So activities, the filter question is probably the best question you can ask yourself when it comes to stuff. Let's say you do the college program, and I told you, Coach Tony says you cannot put that on your college app. Would you still want to go to that pre-summer college program? And if the answer is why, then why am I going to do that if I can't even put it on my college apps? The answer is probably don't do that as well too, because there's no real reason why you're doing that. But for some students, again, there are things our students are so packed. One of our students, seniors, she loved recycling. I have not seen anyone geek out more about recycling than her as well too, right? She geeked out so hard about recycling. That's all she talked about all the time. I told her, hey, let's say we don't let you put that on your college. Would you still want to do it? She still did it. She did way more things about it, even though she knew that I quote unquote, I won't let her. By the way, you share everything, right? We don't actually hide anything on your app. You share everything, but the mental model you want to keep in your head is, what if I can't talk about this? Would you still want to spend your time doing it? And that's the key, right? So going back to pre-college program, again, a lot of these programs, by the way, might not even be offered by the school. So keep that in mind. We did a training on this a while back. If you guys need that, feel free to let us know on that as well too. But when it comes to programs, it depends, right? Some are offered by a school, some is offered by a third party at the school. But even if it's offered on the school, that doesn't mean you're going to get an edge at the school either, right? So keep that in mind. Again, the thing is, would you want to do that activity regardless of admissions is the answer there.
Okay,
right, next question, Coach Art, is what is the right time to start a personal project? Does it have to be only one or multiple projects?
Okay, the right time is now. I can't say to me, you can start it at any time. A personal project can be started again. I've seen students that started actually even in the beginning of their senior year, just because it's about do you really want to do in passion? And get that question that Coach Tony said, that if you didn't have to include in the application, you still wanted. Does it have to be only one? No, it doesn't. It can be multiple. You might find that you have multiple interests. This is the way to do that. Correct. So that you can touch upon all of those different interests. And let's say you do one and you're like, oh my gosh, that was totally awful. It's awesome that you found that out, because you can move on to a different one. Or maybe you have multiple ones, or maybe they connect at some point. Who knows? But yes, it's the sky's the limit, because remember, it's student run, student initiated, and student maintained. It's all about you. So you can choose what you want to do.
Awesome. Can a personal project be the Eagle project for scouting? And which prompt would this be in the UC app?
Yes, it could be. Because there's two things here. In the activities, you can say you went for your Eagle Scout. But two, if you expand on that and you start doing, then it can be a personal project. And what you say is, where would you put it? It all depends on the type of personal project, exactly. The thing that you're doing. Because in the apps, they have different questions. There's a leadership question. There's a creativity question. There's a adversity overcoming question. There's a creative. So there's all different types of questions that can fit for that. So
awesome. My kids started a small business to sell lip balms at craft fairs. Does that count?
Yes, absolutely it does.
Awesome.
If they love it and why, what is the why behind it? Absolutely.
Is it necessary to mention GitHub sites or websites of project done?
Whew. Well, the thing is that I would say is and Coach Tony, you will know this.
Sure.
The readers, they don't have time to look at other things.
Nope.
If you put links in there, they're not going to click those links.
Nope. We're not
If
clicking
if
links.
it helps to show, but again, you can mention, but the thing is that they're not going to go and verify it.
Correct.
So
You can do some quick math, kind of that. And then if you don't believe us, do some quick math. How many people
Exactly.
applied to UCLA, for example, right?
Right.
150 is the cheat code answer, right? 150,000 students, right? And then every app gets read at least 2 times by readers. Then it goes on to an admissions committee to get read one more time. Apps are due November 30th. They find out in March. That is 4 months as well, too. How do you read 150,000 apps, at least for the most part, 3 times, and do the math on how much time you get? AKA, the long answer is, the short answer is, you don't have time. They skim through it. That's
right.
why we tell you to do certain things in a certain way, because it's really quick, right? How they go through everything that way there. Awesome.
I think
What
it's the
is
last question.
Go ahead.
Last question, right?
I guess 2 more, but go ahead, sir.
Oh, okay. I guess this question is, what is the most important thing to demonstrate through a personal project? Leadership and initiative, creativity and uniqueness, successful results and impact, or self-reflection along the journey, failure, self-awareness, lessons learned? Frankly, all of the above.
I agree with that too.
Okay, all of the above. But you might have the particular question asking, because first of all, I'll say again, Christy, a great question, because and very erudite in what you just said here. Each of these particular categories that you talked about are actually questions that usually colleges are asking. So it might be the case if you have a specific question that centers on that, that's what you're talking about. But you're always, because these are the whys that we talk about.
Correct.
You always want to mention this in your apps. Leadership and initiative, creativity and uniqueness, successful results and impact, self-reflection along the journey, failures, self-awareness, lessons learned. All of that is about the candidate, the student. And those are the qualities and the things that the colleges want to see and hear about. Because remember, they only see and read what you provide them. That's it.
Right.
They are not going out to other sources to find out the information. To make sure that that application, particularly the prompts, are packed full of what you just talked about. It has to be. So
awesome. Fantastic. And one last question I can answer as well too is, can non-coaching families join the PPI cohort for a fee? No. That's all too. Again, this event, we want to keep it free is the thing, right? So cohort number 1, the only condition to be part of it, we are going to do it internally with our coaching family. So if you're a coaching family, by the way, Coach David's pinging me right now. He's getting freaked out. So many families are messaging PPI inside our Discord as well too. On this Thursday, I'll be going ahead and dropping a special video in the announcement section of explaining how you guys can get registered for his July cohort. Wait till then. Please don't ping Coach David. He's freaking out right now on the back end. So what's going on? What's going on? So is that. For everyone else who's interested, right? Hey, maybe if you're interested, right? We're basically giving you a month. If you guys are interested in joining our first cohort, it has a few exclusive things. Just being as the first cohort, it's live. I'll be working directly with you guys as well too. All that as well too. If you guys want to go ahead and join our coaching program, is it free? Our coaching program starts at $3,500 as well too. Get lifetime. You start now, start later, same price as well too. But if you guys can wait, right? So again, if you guys can wait, August, we're gonna reopen this again. It'll be free. Moving forward, this event is going to be free for the public as well too. So it's keeping that in mind. If you guys again, no pressure. If you guys don't want to do it, just hang on tight. We'll run again another cohort very soon after this one. But this first one, we want to keep it kind of a little semi-private. So we're doing it with our coaching families first. For that, so if anyone families, get excited for that. I'm super excited to work with you guys this upcoming month. And for everyone who's interested in working with me directly and our team on this, go ahead and book a free chat. Again, you can't buy on that call either. You book a call, 15 minutes. They'll give you recommendations, not on personal project, but like the college admissions process as a whole. Then they'll say, hey, do you want to talk about coaching programs? You can tell them no, or you can tell them, yeah, let's book a second call. As long as you guys get registered before July 1st, which is what our start date, we'll get you guys onboarded in the personal project incubator July cohort. Okay, awesome, fantastic.
There you go.
We missed the time again, Coach Art. We keep
I
going
know.
over every
Oh,
single one of these times. One of these
one of
times
these times.
we'll stick to the real 90 minutes.
Absolutely.
But then it's always a blast hanging out with Coach Art. It's a blast. My God, we have still a lot of people still here to the very end. So I appreciate you all
Absolutely.
for going a little
Thank you.
extra overtime with
Yep.
us here. With that being said, this call is recorded. We're gonna send you guys out the replay for this session as well too. If you guys want the freebies, do not text it in the chat. Text our team. I'll leave this room open for like one more minute. You guys have time for that. Text freebies to 415-938-8721. If you want to book a 15-minute session, just text 15 as well too to the same number. They'll give you the appropriate links as well. If you guys want to go ahead and just book the link directly in here, you can tap the link and you guys can do that as well. Our team can go ahead and take care of you guys there. Again, Coach and I will just kind of go mute audio off, video off for like a minute, leave this room open for anyone who still needs to text us, for anyone who wants to click on the calendar link to book a session. Appreciate all the kind words, by the way, in the chat. I see you all.
Yes, thank you so much.
As well too. So that's pretty much it. Coach Ari and I will kind of go mute and silent for a minute and we'll shut out this room. Again, please text our team. We're not doing, there's no chat management today. We don't have our team on chat today, so they can't store anything. Text us, click the link to book a call. If you guys want to click the link there. That's pretty much it. Until next time, next Tuesday, we'll go back to our regular trainings. By the way, next week, 6 p.m., we'll have a training call there. Okay. That's pretty much it for me. Any closing words, Coach Art?
I just want to thank you so much for all of you joining us again. You could choose some 90 minutes to 2 hours time with anybody else or any other thing, but you chose to be with us. Thank you so much. See, we love what we do. We love helping people get to where they want to be. And hopefully you can join us if you're not with us already as a family. And if you are with us, let's go, because I'm excited. I'm going to be joining the PPI so that I can get a personal project with Coach Tony as well. So thank you so much, everyone. And we really appreciate it.